The Nathan West we're looking at is not the real Nathan West, and here are my reasons why. What's up, my J's Peeps? I hope everybody is doing well. I came up with some reasons as to why Nathan's not really Nathan, and I wanted to share them, see what you guys think about it, and also a theory as to why he's not really trying to get back with Maxie. So, hear me out, and then let me know in the comments below what did you believe. I know a lot of people have said that they don't think this is a real Nathan, so I had my speculations here and there, but now I'm convinced he's not really Nathan. Here's why. Number one, he's a detective, but not trying to figure out where he's been all this time. Like, he woke up and found out that everybody thinks that he died 7 years ago, but where's he been? A detective would look into what's going on with them, right? Maybe not always, but if you have a job, you've been doing it for a while, and you love your job, you even when you're not working, you probably will still take your work home in a way, so whatever. And one thing I do remember about Nathan is that he was a really good detective and was, really good at detecting. So why hasn't he, looked into his background? And I always thought it was weird that nobody else thought to look into it except for to test his DNA. So, but I know you can write that off as the probably waiting for Max to for when Kristen Storms is back. Maxie woke up to dig into this, which I think will probably will because after if you listen, I'll get to that point. Number two, he told Maxie that his father made him learn the periodic table. It really drilled it into him stuff, which Lulu was confused about because she thought, from what Maxie told her, that his father was not really that interested in him. He only focused on Nina. Of course, we know that his father is Cesar Faison, but he grew up with Nina and her parents. Because Lisa wanted him away from Faison. I forgot the reason besides, it's Faison. But anyways, and so Nathan was not close to either one of his fathers. So, you know, where would this Piaco thing come from? And I remember he said something about his father, and everybody thought that was weird. But I had to go. I went on YouTube to look for it, and it's so funny. I clicked on the right video the first time. I'm so proud of myself. So yeah, they're just playing this game, and Nathan was able to read back the periodic table. So thought that was weird. That didn't seem like something that Nathan would really drill in. Sounds more like something Peter August may have done with his daddy, or someone else that I'm not thinking of right now. But anyways, he can't hit a ball. James was just talking up so much about, how he heard about how great his father was, when they did the PCPD, they had their little baseball tournaments or whatever games. And, Nathan tried to hit the ball and totally missed. And I'm like, the people are writing it off as in, it's been 7 years. And, he has, he might have just, been, what do you call it? I can't think of the word I'm thinking of. Basically, rusty. Rusty. I think it was another word I was thinking of, but we'll go with rusty. Rusty. It's been 7+ years because who knows when the last time he played ball before he died. So, but I don't know. I think that it's just General Hospital just putting out little things here and there to get us to question, either, question if he's really Nathan or just fucking with us and he's really Nathan. But anyways, another thing is comes back from the dead, but doesn't want his wife. He didn't even go and see Maxie while she was in a coma. Of course, you could write that off as in, Kirsten wasn't there, so he would just be going to the hospital, staring at a bed or whatever. But still, if you come back to life, wouldn't you want to go see your wife in a coma, even if you weren't trying to get back to her? It'd be good to see everybody that you're around. Not only that, but you come back from the dead, you would want to get back with your wife automatically. You would want to reconnect with her first before you start hitting on her cousin, her friend. Sorry, her friend. But either way, but my theory, you could write that off as I'm a Maxie fangirl, Nathan a Maxie fangirl. But come on, it's true. I'm a big Days of Our Lives fan, and they do a lot of um back from the dead storylines, and a lot of they don't have their memories, or their mind controlled, so they might not want to go back to their spouses, but eventually, once they get it all back together, they go back to their spouses. So what's up with Nathan? He supposedly doesn't have any memory loss, so why wouldn't he at least want to go see Maxie? No. Anyways, my theory about that is, that Max, he woke up and chose to be with Spinelli. I think out of obligation, because Spinelli was there for her and actually went to see her while she's in a coma, and decorated her room and everything. And Nathan wasn't there, so she feels like she has more connection with Spinelli now than she does with Nathan, who she hasn't seen in 7 years. But my theory is why Nathan never fought for Maxie is that he is not really Nathan. And he knows that if he went back to Maxie, she would be the one that would figure out that he's not really Nathan. Because who do you think would know him the best? His wife. His wife. Everybody else is just really excited to see him back. Liesel, Nina, they just like gushing over the fact that he's back alive. Felicia wasn't that close to him. Lulu wasn't that close to him. Maxie was the closest person to Nathan aside from Dante. But, Dante's got a lot going on in his head, so he might not have had enough time to sit with him and, really pick up that, maybe this is not really anything. Not only that, but Dante has been really sucking with his detective work lately. So whatever. But, if Nathan went back with Maxie, she would pick up this stuff because they'd be together all the time, you know, especially in the bedroom. I know that's something that soaps miss when they do, doppelgangers or fake masks and stuff. They don't really consider that, you can't um completely look like the person you're pretending to be. But I think I need to. I don't know why I'm talking so much with my hands. And I always think that's annoying when someone does that. But anyways, she would be the one that would pick up the differences in him. So it's best that he goes to be with Lulu because she's not gonna pick up that kind of stuff. And another thing that Maxie said on Friday was that she never believed that Nathan would leave her and wondered how he could move on in 6 months. Yeah, that's not a lot of time to move on for somebody. Then again, she actually was kind of close with Peter August after Nathan's death. I don't think they really got together afterwards, but they were close, and Peter was there close to her after James was born. So, but that's my speculation. He doesn't want to be close with Maxie because she'll pick it up. And now she's making a big deal about Nathan and Lulu being together, which makes me think that the storyline is going to be is that Maxie is going to start picking up things about, something seems a little off with Nathan. And then, people will write that off as she's just being jealous because she made a big deal about Nathan and Lulu in the beginning. So I think that's how the storyline's going to go. But you ask, who could this person be? And of course, Peter August is the most likely person this could be, especially with the whole DNA. Now, when they tested Nathan's DNA, they could have easily been mixed up with Peter. I mean, they are blood brothers, so they would have similar DNA, right? you know and it's poor it's poor Charles. Somebody could be working to help Peter August or whoever it is doctor the DNA DNA tests. So that's my theory. What do you guys think? I think it would also be funny. Someone was can't remember. I was reading somebody's post somewhere, and they talk about wouldn't it be funny if it's phase on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, an old dude pretending to be his son. Then again, also it could be, somebody is controlling Nathan's brain. Or it could be somebody who has Nathan's memories, but not really Nathan. Or it could be Nathan and someone's just controlling his brain, and then you know. But I don't know. It's still, I just feel it's really just somebody pretending to be Nathan. Now, I think that the real Nathan is alive somewhere. And it's possible he was the one that was in the truck that crashed, and then somebody came and switched him with the fake Nathan, to keep him under lock and key and stuff. Because, I don't know, because, if it's Peter August or somebody pretending to be Nathan, why would they crash and try to get away when I think it's the real Nathan? And so to make people, they see him in the car so they know that he's alive. So to try to throw people off the scent that he's alive, switch the bodies. I don't know. But anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more General Hospital reviews, videos, and random stuff that pops into my head. I talk about the other four soaps as well. So if you enjoy those too, check out those videos. And I'm gonna shut up and go get my clothes out of the dryer and get some rest. My asthma has been a big butt head the last couple of days, so I'm gonna be lazy the rest of the day. But anyways, love you guys. Bye.